What's up, Cowboy Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com. Coach's Corner, West Side style. Hackett's here on Mahoning Avenue. Dan Hackett, can't thank him enough, sponsoring Chaney football all season. We'll be here with Coach Antram all week and all the players. Coach's Corner week 2 after a big W last week against Poland. We'll get into that, Coach. But, again, can't thank Dan enough for the hospitality, the food, the kids are eating well. Yep. Shout out to him for supporting Chaney football, and thanks for joining us.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
It's amazing how fast seasons go by.
Right. Right.
A lot of change for you. We're an assistant at Chaney, head coach at Boardman, had an opportunity to come back to where you were. Talk about that a little bit, how the adjustment has been going back to Chaney High School.
It's going smooth. Coming back is smooth. All these guys, these ones here, and the majority of the team I had either before, playing for Chaney, or I had them in junior high when I was teaching at Volney.
Yeah, so it's an easy adjustment. You coached a lot of these guys. You're back in a good spot. Talk, I guess, first thing for Cowboy Nation. I know how proud the West Side is of Chaney football. It's a talented football team, but you got a great group of coaches. Talk about your assistant coaches a little bit as we get going.
Okay, yeah, I have John Thompson, JT, is running our defense. Good bit of the D is from majority of the defense from Coach Chris. He was one of Coach Chris's right-hand man. John Kopp was working with our secondary. He was here last year with Coach Chris. Jason Hewlett, Coach Jay's dad, works with our linebackers. Brandon Dotson was here before, an Ursuline grad that is working with our defensive line. He's been here the whole time since Chaney's been back. Offensively, Anthony Pantone came over from Hubbard, the younger grades over at Hubbard. He's helping with our offensive line. Bob Toth is working with our O-line. He was at Boardman with me last year. Running backs, we have Dom Thomas and Eddie Driscoll that was at Valley Christian for a while. And another kind of my right-hand man for offense is Darian Townsend that played receiver at YSU and
was a good one,
doing the Arena League thing now.
Let's talk. Brandon Dotson, when I was over at Ursuline, was one of those kids that just stuck out to you, not only as a football player, but as a person.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
His energy, his enthusiasm, his knowledge. That's a great staff. So shout out to that whole staff. But I've known Brandon Dotson for a long time. Was one of the better football players Ursuline had, as it was a wrecking ball on the start of their cycle that brought that in. That's great. He's there. On your end, how exciting is it for you to be back, kind of get through the summer, have a week in? Now you're getting ready for week 2 and going to head back to Boardman. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely exciting. I mean, there's not many moments to sit back and kind of enjoy it. I mean, it's go, but it's definitely exciting and, get rolling here.
Well, you're one of the favorite guys I get to coach again at Hackett's here on Mahoning Avenue. Can't thank Dan Hackett and their staff enough for the hospitality throughout the season. Look forward to this each week. We will do this on Thursday nights, which is a good night before a game. I go back to Poland. We talked last week, and I want to see what you think. I think a lot of people are now kind of underestimating Poland. And absolutely, I think that's not the right thing to do. That's a talented football team. That's a big football team. I think a lot of more of the credit should go to the Chaney Cowboys for the way you played, and not as much while Chaney or Poland's down. We think I don't believe that. I think Poland is going to be one of those teams that gets better every week.
Definitely.
Talk about on your end what you were pleased with in a nice week 1 victory. Not an easy place to go play at Poland, obviously. An opener for them, a new season. Talk about that impressive win.
We've been stressing, number one, concentrate on ourselves, not necessarily the opponent or outside distractions, and just moving on to the next play. Respond to adversity, make the next play, and build consistency. And we did a lot of that. Two groups obviously played great, defense and our offensive line. That was more than I expected out of them. They worked together, played great, communicated great, got the job done, and we responded to adversity. We had some turnovers early. Our ball was on the ground a few times, and we settled in.
Right. When you go back and look at this, Coach, I talked to a lot of people week 1 to week 2. Everybody That's the biggest improvement. We talked the offensive line. You were a little concerned about. Obviously, they played a good game. Does that mean that that's going to happen every week? Absolutely not. There'll be growth there. But on your end, from a week-to-week thing, what's one of the biggest things you want to see this football team improve on heading over to Boardman Friday night?
Just our mental development, as far as number one, facing adversity, and just, our football knowledge. I believe we're going to go out there, we're going to compete, we're going to play hard, but we got to stay focused on, one play at a time and within ourselves.
The skill on this football team's off the charts. Quickness, athleticism, gaining knowledge. How good could this football team be?
We could be pretty good. Like you said, kind of nothing's given because of what happened Thursday. Doesn't mean we're going to build upon that this week. It means we should, and we've been working all week to do that. But nothing's guaranteed, Going
to play the Boardman Spartans, someone you're very familiar with. And we talked off air. That's tough. Yeah, that's tough on you. I mean, I know coaches make decisions. You made the one that you thought was best for yourself. Totally understand that. I know there's a lot of relationships at Boardman that you're going to be rekindling, and kids, I did the Spartans yesterday. They're excited to play. And I've known you a long time. You would not want it any other way.
No, they need to be. That they're competitors, man.
No, absolutely. And I think
what you want out of the kids.
I said to a lot of people, I think this is a game that's kind of under the radar a little bit. I really do. When you talk about the Boardman Spartans, they hold Cardinal Mooney to 2 yards rushing. Right. I don't care what Cardinal Mooney's doing. That's one of the best run teams for years. Talk about the Spartan group that you know very well.
Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of guys both sides of the ball. Obviously, big up front. And there's playmakers out there. I think that game last week, a Mooney Boardman game is a huge game, a lot of emotion and stuff. I think that second half, that's going to end up being Boardman. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like they're
physical.
Ortiz
is a good running back.
Control the line of scrimmage, making plays on defense. Aidenberg had the 2 interceptions. Sure. And more than anything is play as a team.
Yeah, it was an impressive win for them. So 2 1-0 teams heading over to Spartan Stadium on your end. Jason Hewlett, accolades galore. Can't wait to talk with him. A lot of talented kids on this football team. Give shout outs to some of these guys that the West Side Nation could keep an eye on over at Spartan Stadium Friday night.
Yeah, definitely. Jason Hewlett's here tonight. He's a Cincy commit that's going to play a few different spots offensively for us. He's played receiver at against Poland. He plays Sam backer for us. We'll put him at the will in a safety spot every once in a while. Jawan Freeman's another one you're going to be talking to. He's kind of like, you need something done. That's the guy. He's on every special. He's played up front on the O line, on the D line. He played running back, scored a touchdown last week. Just kind of the hard nosed West Side, football guy. But there's other ones. DJ Waller's a Toledo commit that's going to make some plays through the year for us. Rolando Bruno has really stepped up. Our right tackle. Stepped up huge from last year, and like you said, it's one game, but a lot of the improvement from last year on his part.
I don't think people understand how important football is to these kids.
Right,
school, football, a schedule, something to keep them straightforward. It's not go to school, go to football, and everything's okay. We talk off air. This is a day-to-day job, a moment you get up till the time you get home with kids that need rides and those things. I can't say enough about you and the staff for all you do for these kids and this football team away from football. But when I ask you that and I talk to you about that, Dan Hackett, the West Side loves Chaney football. It's been that way forever. And I have to say that it's problems that you want to get corrected. How do you thank a Dan Hackett and Hackett's enough for supporting Chaney football?
Yeah, you can't. I mean, he's been great since they came back. Since he's bought this here, he's supported rugby, football, our staff, and our programs in general. He's been great to us.
How special is that for you to know that you have support on the West Side? That has to be a thrill. Hey, these kids are having a time of their lives eating chicken tenders, and they look pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to have chicken tenders after this, but I know how that important is because that's an extension of what you do with them at practice is what you do. But the extension that these kids need,
Right.
Your staff does a great job. So shout out to you on that.
Thank you.
With Coach Antram, Coach's Corner from Hackett's, we look forward to it every Thursday night. We talk every week. You're going to go over to a hostile environment. There's no doubt. You have great moments at Spartan Stadium. We've talked. It's one of the best places to play a high school football game. No doubt. The key for you for Chaney to go home a winner on Friday night against a good Boardman football team?
We need to do what we did last week. Defense needs to be on like it was last week, flying to the ball, securing tackles, and we need to play well up front.
Is that a concern up front? I mean, Terlesky's good. Mayhood we did yesterday. He's physical. Yep. I know they rely on their physicalness and obviously the talent, skill. It's kind of a different style, quickness against strength. Big hitters for you guys are big play mentality. I know that they're concerned about. On your end, is it a concern that they could hold the football forever if they get into that mode where they're getting 3 and 4 yards a crack? Yeah,
I mean, honestly, right now with the amount of practices and amount of reps we've got, as a coach, everything's a concern this early in the season, but definitely, a couple scrimmages in one game, it's hard to get a gauge. Yeah, everybody's kind of still finding their identity,
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, I did them last week and I did the Urson game last week. I did not see a whole lot of cramping issues. Did you have cramps last week?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
See, the game I did, there wasn't many. They said the Campfield West Branch, there was a lot. It's been a crazy summer.
Mm-hmm.
It really has. Weather-wise, it's been hot. Talk about that. Conditioning is a key for the way you guys play. I know you like to go quick. Pretty conditioned group on your end.
We're trying to be. We're still working at it. And one thing I will say about that group, they've accepted it. Jay, after Thursday's game came up, he's like, all that little stuff you're making us do.
Sure.
I appreciate it now. And it takes them a while. And sometimes, if you don't have success doing it, then they don't see it. So it was big to get a win there. But yeah, our conditioning style, we try to tailor it to game situation.
Yeah. And that's not an easy thing to do. We talk all the time. Your schedule, again, one of the best schedules in the state of Ohio. When I looked at it again, every imaginable football team you can play. I know as a coach you enjoy that. Talk about that a little bit.
Definitely. I think back for this group, the team in general, to when we started. We're playing, like I said, after the Poland game. We went there that year, first year with a freshman and a couple sophomores, and played their freshman JV team.
Right.
Played Crestview's varsity team. And now we're to the point where we're establishing a schedule and we're going out and competing.
Yeah, that's got to be a key. Again, we're thrilled to have Chaney at YSN. I know the West Side is thrilled to have Chaney football back, period. Cowboy fans, head on over to Spartan Stadium Friday night. Dan Hackett cannot thank you enough for all you do for the Chaney Cowboys and us at YSN. Look forward to many great weeks here. Love talking with you. I wish you nothing but success. Go get a big win Friday night, and we'll talk again next week.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.